Sometimes, and certainly in my country as well, during periods of backlash, when misogyny, which we define as a hatred of women, often based on anxiety about women. I think there are very many psychological levels to the backlash, exists in your country and in my country as well.
Mi danas živimo u društvu u kome postoji mnogo mizoginija. Mizoginiju možemo da definišemo kao kompleksan psihološki pojam, znači taj ambivalentan odnos prema ženama, mržnja prema ženama zasnovana na tom nekom ambivalentnom odnosu i mi danas živimo u društvu koje je puno mizoginije.
I purposefully use the word misogyny because I think it's important that we have to understand the way legal institutions, as well as the way legal institutions are influenced by notions of misogyny.
I namjerno koristim termin mizoginija zato što mislim da treba da znamo da su pravne institucije dosta bazirane u svom pristupu prema ženama, baziraju svoj pristup na mizoginiji, na toj ambivalenciji.
Because law very often incorporates and relies on stereotypes that exist in each culture.
Jer pravo često inkorporira stereotipe koji postoje u svakoj kulturi.
And even if the law doesn't say there are good girls and bad girls, in fact, the deep structure of the law makes those distinctions, and the police and the prosecutors and the judges and the parliamentarians often, even if they don't say those things explicitly, they believe them implicitly because that's how culture works.
I iako pravo ne kaže postoje dobre i loše devojke, u praksi policije, tužilaštva, sudova mi možemo vidjeti da je takvo mišljenje duboko ukorenjeno i da oni zapravo suštinski, iako eksplicitno to nije rečeno, implicitno duboko veruju u tu vrstu stereotipa.
And to illustrate that, let me give you a personal example. For 3 years, I learned how to do resocializacija of violent men.
Mogu vam dati svoj lični primer kada govorimo o resocijalizaciji nasilnih muškaraca.
In my country, men, there are classes of legal offenses short of violent felonies in which men can choose to go, because Americans like choice, not only in shopping but in punishments. You can go to jail or you can go to re-education.
U mojoj državi u kojoj se zalažemo za izbor ne samo u šopingu već i pri kažnjavanju, pri određenim vrstama prekršaja muškarci mogu da biraju da li će ići na dosluženje zatvorske kazne ili na neki program edukacije.
That experience changed my life, doing this re-education.
I to iskustvo je promenilo moj život, učestvovanje u tom programu edukacije.
I learned, because we did it every week for 24 weeks, 25 men for 24 weeks.
Mi smo radili sa 25 muškaraca tokom 24 nedelje, svake nedelje.
And I learned very sadly that trying to re-educate violent men in the middle part of their lives is very, very difficult because there are no rewards in patriarchy for being soft and gentle and kind for men.
I, nažalost, ja sam shvatila da je veoma, veoma teško promeniti muškarce koji su, recimo, na polovini svog života i promeniti njihov stav što se tiče nasilja, posebno zbog toga što u patrijarhatu nema nikakve nagrade za one koji postupaju nežno i s poštovanjem.
And what I learned in that re-education was that even as these men had chosen to try to learn nonviolence, they in fact, at some very deep levels, hated women, needed women, were angry at women, and still wanted to control them.
I ono što sam shvatila tokom ovog procesa, da iako su se ti muškarci prijavili i na neki način želeli da promene svoje ponašanje, nekom dubokom psihološkom nivou oni su istovremeno i mrzeli žene, žene su im bile potrebne i naravno želeli su da ih kontrolišu.
When I say hated, please understand, it doesn't mean that those men didn't think they loved their women, but the way in which love was connected with power and control and abuse, in fact, I heard as being, as hating women in many ways, and then being very anxious that they would lose control.
Kada kažem mrzeli su žene, to nije jednostavan termin, ali način na koji su oni objašnjavali svoju ljubav prema ženama, to je bilo do te mere povezano sa pitanjem moći i zloupotrebe, da je kod njih stvaralo neku vrstu anksioznosti i straha da će i na kraju izgubiti kontrolu nad svojim ženama.